Sarvato manaso asangam Ādau sangam ca sadhushu Dayam maitrim prashrayam ca Bhuteshvadhyaya dhochitam Sarvato manaso asangam Ādau sangam ca sadhushu Dayam maitrim prashrayam ca Bhuteshvadhyaya dhochitam Sarvato manaso asangam Ādau sangam ca sadhushu Dayam maitrim prashrayam ca Bhuteshvadhyaya dhochitam
Sarvato manaso asangam
Sarvato manaso asangam
Ādau sangam ca sadhushu
Ādau sangam ca sadhushu
Dayam maitrim prashrayam ca
Dayam maitrim prashrayam ca
Bhuteshvadhyaya dhochitam
Bhuteshvadhyaya dhochitam Sarvato everywhere Manasaha of the mind Asangam detachment Ādau the beginning Sangam association Cha and Sadhushu with saintly persons Dayam mercy Maitrim friendship Prashrayam reverence Cha and Bhuteshu for all living beings Adha thus Yatha uchitam as is suitable. Translation purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
A sincere disciple should learn to dissociate the mind from everything material and positively cultivate association with his spiritual master and other saintly devotees. He should be merciful to those in an inferior position to him, cultivate friendship with those on an equal level, and meekly serve those in a higher spiritual position. Thus he should learn to deal properly with all living beings.
So there are three virtues, Dayam, Maitrim, Prashrayam. With those who are superiors, Prashrayam, one should take shelter and association. With those who are equal, Maitrim, friendship. And those who are in inferior position, Dayam, one should show compassion to them. Yeah, purport. Yeah.
Srila Madhavacharya has quoted from the Garuda Puran to demonstrate that within this universe, those who take birth as demigods, great rishis or pious human beings are all considered santas or saintly persons. According to Bhagavad Gita, Trai Gunya Vishya Veda, the Varnashrama culture described in Vedic literature deals mostly with the living entities who are struggling within the three modes of nature. The Vedic literature teaches such conditioned soul that material happiness can be achieved only through pious work. In this sense, the demigods are to be considered the most pious living entities within the three modes of material nature. The rishis or the great saintly mystics of the universe who are able to travel at will to various planets and who cultivate mystic powers are to be considered somewhat below the demigods. And those human beings on earth who perfectly execute those human beings on earth who perfectly execute the Vedic rituals are to be considered in the third or lowest category of santas or saintly persons. But a devotee of the Lord is beyond the three modes of material nature. Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 14.26.
Mam chayo vichareణ bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatichaitan dhamma bhojaya kalpate.
One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature, and thus comes to the level of Brahman. The Lord Krishna clearly says that a Vaishnava who does not fall down from the regulations of Bhakti Yoga is beyond the three modes of nature. And Lord Krishna advised Arjuna, a Krishna Bhakta, to transcend the three material quality of the illusory creation of the three material qualities of the illusory creation of Maya, Nistraya, Gunyo,
Bhavana.
But in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 18.40, the Lord says,
Natarasti pritivyam va devi deveshu vamna sattam prakriti muktam yadye visyapti dirgunai.
there is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary system who is free from the three modes of material nature. Thus, the demigods are not exempt from the pollution of the three modes of material nature, whereas a pure devotee actually becomes
Gunatita.
or transcendental to the influence of Maya. Therefore, one should cultivate the association of Uttama Adhikari, or pure devotee of the Lord, as stated previously.
Tasmat gurum prapadyet jigyasmi shreya uttamam shabde pare cha nishnatam brahmanyupasamashrayam.
Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusion of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material consideration, should be understood to be bona fide
Spiritual masters.
bona fide spiritual masters. On the other hand, one should avoid the association of materialistic person, even if such a person is outwardly chanting holy name of Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami has advised in this respect.
Krishne diyasya giritam manasandriyet dikshasti set pranatipischa bhajantamisham shushrooshaya vadana vikyamananyamanya nindadishunya hridamipsita sangalabdhya. Yeah.
One may mentally offer respect to any living entity who is chanting the holy name of Krishna, but one should avoid intimate association with materialistic persons, especially those attached with sex enjoyment. Tamodvaram
Yoshitam Sankisangam.
If one associates with a sensuous person who is attached to the company of women, by such association one will surely go to hell.
Not just go to hell, surely. Yeah.
But if a materialistic person approaches a pure devotee with a sincere desire to hear from him about spiritual improvement, first class devotees may mercifully give his association, provided the purpose of such a meeting is advancement in the devotional service of Krishna. By such association, even a materialistic person can gradually become a pure devotee of Krishna. Even an advanced devotee is not able to engage a materialistic person in the devotional
Service of Krishna.
devotional service of Krishna.
Yeah.
Such association is strictly forbidden. In Garuda Puran it is stated,
Visheshtaka swottameshu vinasangam na muchyate swanisheshu tu deveshu vinasangam na puryate.
one cannot be liberated without association with a pure devotee of the Lord. And unless one shows mercy to those in an inferior position, one's life will be superficial. It is our practical experience in Krishna consciousness movement that those who are expanding their mercy by preaching the message of Krishna are making rapid spiritual progress and their life is filled with transcendental bliss. Those who neglect the quality of mercy being uninterested in the missionary activities of Krishna consciousness movement, are not filled with transcendental pleasure as described here by the word puryate, not being filled with spiritual pleasure. Surely such persons attempt to fill their lives with material pleasure through through sense gratification and mental speculation, associating with women or reading innumerable mundane novels, newspapers, news magazines, and so on. According to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the preaching activities of the Krishna consciousness movement are
Anandam Buddhivardhanam,
the ever-increasing ocean of bliss. Missionary activities are based on principle of daya or mercy to those who are fallen. Those who are actually preaching become enlivened by associating with other preachers. This principle is called maitrim, or friendship among equals. The power to carry out such preaching activities as well as the proper guidance for distributing Krishna's message comes through the principle of
Prashrayam,
or humble service at the lotus feet of spiritual authorities, such as the spiritual master. If one preaches Krishna consciousness sincerely under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master,
and the company of fellow preachers,
one is perfectly fulfilling the statement of this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus he will come to the point of
Sarvato Manaso Asangam,
or complete detachment from the illusory energy of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has stated, Navamatra Sadhu Sange Sarva Siddhi Haya, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22.54. By becoming attached to the devotees of the Lord, one will achieve all perfection in life, going back home, back to Godhead. If one neglects the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead by engaging in sinful life, he is certainly not merciful. One who ignores his eternal status as part and parcel of Supreme Lord and who instead covers himself more and more with material illusion in the form of temporary designation, I am American, I am Russian, I am Indian, I am black, I am white, and so on, is certainly a killer of his own soul and cannot be
considered
merciful. Similarly, those who support animal slaughter by eating meat, fish, and egg cannot be considered merciful. Sometimes the argument is given that if one does not harm others, he is perfectly religious. But because we are now in a state of ignorance, we have no idea whatsoever of the future reactions to our present activities. Ignorantly boasting that one is not harming others without an awareness of the subtle laws of nature
does
not make one a religious person. One becomes religious by surrendering to the laws of God as they are stated by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita. As long as a living entity is infatuated with his own mental speculation, which carry him away like the waves of the ocean, he cannot understand the process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mental speculation based on our experience of variegated creations of the Lord illusory energy are incapable of bringing us to perfect knowledge. One must give up materialistic association and make company with pure devotees of the Lord. Those who are engaged 24 hours a day in perfectly pleasing the Supreme Lord. One should cultivate association with those who are more advanced than oneself in devotional service. One's advancement can be measured by one's detachment from sense gratification and his ability to distribute Krishna consciousness to others. In this connection, Srila Narottama Das Thakur has said, Chaitya Vaishnava
Seva Vistara Payachakela.
Who can attain salvation if he gives up the service of the Vaishnavas by serving the lotus feet of pure devotees? One is immediately enlightened with spiritual knowledge. All of the so-called pleasures of the material world, culminating in many varieties of sexual fantasy and impersonal vision of oneself as God, become useless to one who has achieved mercy of the lotus feet of a pure devotee of Krishna. The entire material creation is compared to an insignificant bubble in the ocean. The material universe rests on the spiritual potency of the Lord called Brahma Jyoti, just as an insignificant bubble rests on the potency of the unlimited ocean. By serving the lotus feet of a pure devotee, one can enter the ocean of eternal happiness and experience his constitutional position as a servant of Krishna. The mercy of the Vaishnavas is unlimited, and one who has tasted that mercy becomes mad after the lotus feet of Krishna. not caring for the hallucination of so-called material pleasure or material speculation. The mercy of Vaishnavas is substantial and as powerful as Krishna himself, whereas impersonal speculation and hopeless dream of society, friendship, and love merely constitute various means by which Maya cheats the conditioned soul and keep them in perpetual frustration.
Yeah. Although the purport is very long, it's very, very important shloka. Very important purport. So 3 words were used here. Dayam, Maitrim, Prashrayam. Just like we have these bulbs glowing here, they are coming from the pole, electric pole, from where they draw the electricity. And those poles are getting electricity from the previous poles. And if you go ahead, you will find there is a hydroelectric power station or something, from where the power is generated and then distributed. Same manner, Krishna is the powerhouse. And he gives the knowledge to Brahma. And then Brahma gives to Narada. Narada gives to Vyasa. So it's like one pole to another pole, like electricity is coming. Like that the knowledge is descending down in the Guru Parampara. So when we connect to the Guru Parampara, then we become enlightened. We become awakened, we become enlightened. And if somebody says, I am connected to ISKCON, I visit ISKCON, but for us to become enlightened, there has to be a proper connection established. Some people visit Janmashtami day, they sometimes visit on festival days, they may sometimes visit for occasional darshan, but the proper connection is established by the principle of prashrayam. Prashrayam actually means devotee should seek association and take shelter of the Vaishnava Guru. And who is that Vaishnava Guru? One who is neither attracted to sexual fantasy nor who is attracted to mental speculation. Most people in the world are attracted by, nowadays if you see, people are playing video games, people are reading novels, people are watching Netflix movies, people are scrolling and watching randomly different type of posts, different places. People are becoming more and more aimless and irresponsible due to material absorption. And there are others who say they go to yoga studio, but only to keep the body fit. Make the body healthy enough to enjoy sense gratification. That is the goal of yoga. That is not yoga, that is bhoga. You have to call the yoga institutes as bhoga institutes. You make your body healthy enough to enjoy sense gratification. Isn't it? Actually, the word yoga comes from the word yuj, means to connect with the Supreme God. Prabhupada says yoga means plus. Jiva plus God, that is yoga. Adding God in our life and not living a life like an orphan, bereft of God. Then you have yoga. So, people who do yoga, pranayama, some people don't talk any philosophy. They just make their body healthy and fit and just enjoy life. But even those who talk philosophy, they talk impersonal philosophy. I am one is all is one, I am you, you are me, things like that. Nowadays even Japanese advertisements, they say, we are you, you are us, so please buy this commodity. They are using so much impersonalism nowadays, everywhere. Prabhupada said, only in darkness everything is one. Only for a fool, everything is one. When you switch on the lights, you can see the variegatedness. In God's creation, not even two snowflakes look alike, they are unique. Even if somebody says, merge the water back into ocean, even the ocean is H2O. Two atoms of hydrogen, they are also separate atoms. They have their individuality. They don't just merge and become one homogeneous thing. So, there is so much of impersonalism and voidism in the society. That is one type of hallucination. Another type of hallucination is the sexual fantasies, man-woman relationships. And in this purport it is mentioned that when one takes shelter of a Vaishnava Guru who is completely mad after Krishna, one who is absorbed in Krishna consciousness 24/7, the Prabhupada says the students of Krishna consciousness are busy in researching into the absolute truth, Prabhupada says. Because if a man researches the body of a woman, he will get nothing. It's like onion, you peel, ultimately you get nothing in the onion. The body of a man or a woman is simply filth, made of flesh and bone and stool and sputum and urine and stool and all these things, obnoxious substances. And this body can never give any pleasure. This body is a source of pain. In Bhagavatam, the word is used kleshada. We want to associate with Narada, not the kleshada. Narada will give you Narayana. Kleshada will give you misery. The whole world is chasing after the sex pleasure, which is nothing but misery. Kleshada. So, there is only an imagination. Kandutiman manasijam vishageta dira, Prahlad Maharaj says. People are fascinated with the posts and the videos in the man, woman practically nude and this kind of postings. And the more they dig deeper to understand what this pressure is, the more they get slaps and kicks by Maya, and they are burnt by the lust, the fire which is consuming the whole world. It's all devouring, sinful enemy of the world. And those who have risen a little bit above, who understand that sex pleasure is bogus, is cheating pleasure, they want to get rid of the sufferings of the world to enter into the Vaidism or Buddhism or impersonalism. They are so burnt out fellows, they want to get rid of all forms, all names, all activities and become silent and then do nothing practically. It's a non-existential philosophy. Go to non-existence, they say, hear the sound of one hand clapping. Or hear the sound of silence. How can one hand clapping hear? That is their philosophy. So they experience the peace. Recently I was giving a lecture on American boy. He was making a brilliant point. He said, you are talking about going to spiritual world, associating with God. Still it involves personality. There may be separation, union, which may cause pain. Better go to peace, where there is no person, no name, no form, just rest. So I told him, that much people are frustrated now. They're fed up with all forms. Read the verse 4.10 in Bhagavad Gita. Vitaralu bhayakroda, manmaya mam parshita, bhagavo jnana tapasa, bhuta, manbhava magata. That Prabhupada writes, people are so fearful of the form of man and woman now in this world. Because people have developed a kind of phobia. After associating and getting burnt out, people are fed up and they want to enter into impersonal oneness. So, therefore, a Vaishnava Guru is one who has given up these two useless, futile attempts. One is for material pleasure, another one is spiritual pleasure in the name of mere negating the negative, the impersonalism and voidism. One has gone beyond these two. Such a Vaishnava Guru is connecting to the proper authorized sampradaya, the four sampradayas, and is engaged in the service of the Lord. He himself is taking shelter of a Vaishnava Guru and engaged in service. And what is the result of engaging in service? Like Nimai Pandit, he accepted initiation from Ishwarapuri, and then as he practiced, he experienced great ecstasy in his life. It's very surprising for the common man in this world. This fellow has no money in his pocket. He has no dollar note in his pocket. He has no house of his own. He doesn't have a wife or children or anything. He is just a single fellow. And how he can be so happy? But you will see the happiness of the soul is different from happiness of the body and mind. In this world, no matter how much you accumulate in this world, possessions don't bring happiness. Many times possessions become pain when they are used for sense gratification. And in this world, relationships become another source of pain if man and woman connect for sense gratification. So, a Vaishnava devotee is one whose energy comes from the soul's loving relationship with Krishna. So, that is why Nimai Pandit went and asked his Guru, Kipa mantra dila gosai kipa tarava, japite hoila paga. What mantra have you given? By chanting this mantra more and more, my mind is becoming mad after Krishna and ecstatic, becoming more. And his Guru said, my dear child, you are very much coming closer and closer to the ultimate realization of love of God. This is the purpose of life. Go on chanting like this all your life. There is nothing more to be achieved. You already have achieved the perfection. So even in the prema stage and bhava stage where he was shedding tears of love, he was still under the shelter of Guru, and he was seeking guidance from Guru. He was never independent minded. He didn't think that now I become advanced, I don't need any shelter. So Prashraya. So he had taken shelter of Guru. So by that we draw the energy. Just like you see, there was one farmer, he had a well in the village, and the well was overflowing with water. And all the other farmers said, see, the whole village is running dry. We all don't have any water, but you have a well which is overflowing with water. We can just take with the mug and bathe and drink. So is it all right? We bring our buckets and take some water from you. So he said, why not? He was very charitable. So everybody took buckets of water and they went. So now the news went around. So all the people in the village started fetching water from his well, taking permission from him. And he was very liberal also. And some of the farmers came with a 100 HP or 150 HP pump. And said, can we connect a pump so we don't have to bring bucket? In this way, he started drawing water. They started drawing water more and more. The water level started going down, down, down. He himself found that now I am starving for water myself. I don't have. So what is this analogy I heard from HG Radheshyam Prabhu? He said, when we are preaching Krishna consciousness, or distributing Krishna consciousness, or distributing books, sometimes we may become over enthusiastic in giving more Krishna consciousness to others and not taking oneself, or not doing the prashrayam. Prashrayam means proper shelter of the superiors. So then what happens? First initially somebody calls, they call you here, they call you that, this program, that program. Eventually some people invite you for weeks together, give a 1 week katha, 3 days katha and things like that. So when we preach, we can starve without our own development in Krishna consciousness. So therefore, the farmer understood I should connect my well to a reservoir of water, from where I can draw the water and then fill up the well. When he did that, he never had dearth of water. He could supply as much as people wanted. And what does that mean? The reservoir of water is Krishna and the Acharyas and Parampara. When we daily read, daily hear, daily contemplate, daily reflect, daily make points for application, and daily implement the things we learn from the Shastra in our life, we ourselves take proper shelter. And the result of such a shelter is two very important things, Siddhanta and Sadachara. You will see that a person will have good clarity of thought, no clouded idea, very good understanding of philosophy and good behavior. So, Titikshavan, Karunika, Surda Sarvadehinam, Ajata Shatravashantaha, Sadhavasadu Bhushana, these are Tadatha Lakshana, secondary Lakshanas of a devotee, which is the devotee should be tolerant, merciful, Tirikshava, Karunika, Surda Sarvadehinam, well-wisher of all living entities, Ajata Shatrava, he has no enemies in this world, Shantaha, he has no hankering, Sadhavasadu Bhushana, these are the medals that a devotee gets by practicing devotion service. And what are the primary symptoms of devotion service? Mayyananyena bhavena bhaktim kurvanti ye dridham madarte takta karmanaha takta sajanavandavaha. This verse says, those devotees who worship Krishna with ananya bhav, which means they worship with pure devotion, not attracted to any demigods. They don't put faith in anyone else. Maybe this demigod can give me that, or this particular deity can give that. No. Whatever Krishna gives me is what is good for me. If Krishna doesn't give me anything, that is also good for me. Because he knows best. He is my mother, father, brother, sister, relative, friend, wealth, education, be all and end all for me. He is everything for me. I will fall at his feet even if he kicks me. Even if devotion service gives me pain, that is ultimately good for me because Krishna wants me to purify myself. So in this way, that is Ananya Bhakti. Just like a patient goes to a doctor and gets injection, he knows it's painful, but he will happily take injection because he knows it's good for his on curing of the disease. Like a child has no other shelter to go other than the mother. So when one comes to that Ananya Bhakti, one's development of faith has become very mature. Mai Ananyena Bhavena Bhaktim Kurvantiye Dridham. Dridham means it's a very firm devotional service. It is not like a creeper which is, swept by the wind. It's like a deep-rooted tree which cannot be shaken even a millimeter. So Bhaktim Kurvantiye Dridham. Madarte Takta Karmanaha. He engages all his activities in my service. Even if he is a grihastha going to company, it's not that he becomes attracted or attached to the worldly things. He always thinks how I can use my time in Krishna service, how I can engage my wife, children, family in Krishna service, how I can engage a part of money in Krishna service. Let me engage my 24/7. He is always thinking and planning in engaging himself in Krishna service. Madarte Takta Karmana Takta Svajana Bandhava, he says. Such a person actually, if relatives, friends, family doesn't support such a person, like Prabhupada didn't get any support from family, then it one person sannyasa went ahead. And in this way, Takta Svajana Bandhava, he is ready to give up everything of the world for Krishna's sake. And then he is saying, Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Udahritam Ahetukyam Javagita Ya Bhakti Purushottame. He is saying, Lakshanam, the primary Lakshanam, Sarva Lakshan, this is another verse. Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Udahritam. It's beyond the three gunas. Prabhupada says here, demigods are great, many rishis and saints are great, many Karmakandi Brahmanas are great, but none of them can give you Shuddha Bhakti. Only a person who is beyond the three gunas. Nirgunasya Udahritam. And what is the nature of that bhakti? Ahetuki apyabhagita ya bhakti purushottame. The Purushottama bhaktas, they have ahetuki bhakti, means they only want loving service from Krishna. They don't want moksha also. If they don't have bhukti, mukti, spridha yavat, pishachi iti vartate. Like that, Prabhu Goswami writes. Anybody is desiring bhukti of this world or mukti beyond this world, that is as good as Pishachi is saying. Why is he saying Pishachi? Because these two things take a person away from Krishna service. If I do sense gratification, or if I want to relax in Brahma Jyoti, these two things deprive me of seeing Krishna, serving Krishna lovingly. So a devotee throws away this jnana karma. Jnana karma adi anavrata. Anya abhilashita. So only devotee wants to serve Krishna. So, Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Udahritam Ahetuki Apyabhagita Ya Bhakti Purushottame. Such a bhakti is never interrupted. Sometimes students practice bhakti. When examination comes, bhakti gets interrupted. Sometimes you are in a job, somebody is laid off, immediately bhakti stops. Or somebody just got married, for 2 years bhakti stops. Or somebody just got a baby, bhakti stops for 1 year or something. Somebody felt a sudden money crunch or some money loss or somebody stole the money, bhakti may stop. But true bhakti never stops. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur sang, Manasa deho geho yogichu mon arpilu tuva pade nanda kishore Sampade vipade jivane marane Ai mama gela tuva upada varane Maro virakhovi joi chatuhan Nitya das prati tuva adhikar Kira janma ho yata tuadas Bahirmukha brahma janme nahi gora ash. You know what he's saying? My body, my mind, my home, my wife, my children, my wealth and everything I offer at your lotus feet, O Nanda Kishore Krishna. Arpilu tuva pade Nanda Kishore. And then he's saying, when I am wealthy, I will be your devotee. When I am poverty stricken, I will continue to be a devotee. When I am young, I will be a devotee. When I am old, I will be a devotee. When I am alive, I will serve you now. After I die, I will continue serving in the next life. Life after life, I will serve you. You can kill me or you can embrace me. Whatever you think is appropriate for me, you may do so, he says. And then he says, you know, I don't want to be a four-headed Brahma, a leader of a whole universe, if I am going to be a forgetful Brahma. On the other hand, I will be most happy to become a worm in the house of a devotee, where devotees worship you, they do your bhajan, kirtan, they study Gita Bhagavatam, they offer bhoga to you, and some prasad will be lying here and there. I will take that. I'll be very happy to be a worm in the house of a devotee who is absolutely unattended, neglected in society, an insignificant creature. I can be an ant or a worm in the house of a devotee. So this verse is a gold standard verse of Vaishnavas. It gives us a clue on what is the heart of a devotee. So, Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya Nirgunasya Udahritam Ahaitukya Bhavita Yavati Purushottame. In this way, Purushottam Bhaktas are like this. What do the Purushottam Bhaktas do? Na krodho, na samatsaryo, na loho, na shubhamati bhavanti krita punyanam bhaktanam Purushottame. This verse says what they do. Na krodho, they don't unnecessarily show anger to other living entities. Na samatsaryo, they don't become envious of any living entity by unhealthy comparisons. Na lobho, they are never greedy. Whatever comes of its own account, they accept. Na ashubhamati, they never harbor any malice towards any creatures. Like Dhruva Maharaj's mother told them, don't harbor malice towards your stepmother. Then what do? Bhavanti krita punyana bhaktanam purushottame. They only do bhakti sukriti activities. What is that punya? Srinmatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hearing about the Lord, chanting about the Lord, remembering the Lord, worshipping the Lord, serving the Lord. So we have to find out such Vaishnavas, those who have no other goal in life. So when I came here to Boston Temple, I found Muktavanti Prabhu like that. I was deeply inspired. Therefore, I felt this temple has a very great hope in the management of Varmala Pandit Prabhu and Muktavanti Prabhu's purity of his sincerity of his devotion. So then Radha Gopi Vallabha has taken care nicely for so many years. Many times temples manifest and they're shut down, they're again manifest, again closed. But temples will go on and on. Prabhupada says one good soul is good enough, Prabhupada says. So, in this way, one should take shelter of such Vaishnavas, and then from by their mercy, then we will have some drop of devotion. That is called prashrayam. And the second quality is maitri. Those who are preaching Krishna consciousness, they should never quarrel with one another. That will cause the greatest pain to the acharyas. Prabhupada tells a story. One guru was lying down and his two disciples were massaging his feet, 2 feet. So one disciple was telling the other, hey, you don't know how to massage. You see how nicely I am massaging. He said, the other disciple said, what do you know? I've got a degree on massaging. I'm an undergraduate. I'm massaging, I exactly learned how to massage the feet. This fellow said, you may have a degree, but your theoretical knowledge is useless. I come from a village where I learned from my grandfather. I know how to massage properly, he said. So they both started quarreling. This fellow pinched the other feet, that fellow pinched this feet, and Guru jumped out. Guru said, hey, in your fight you are pinching me, you are causing me pain, he said. So Prabhupada told the story to tell the devotees that staying within ISKCON, if devotees quarrel with one another, that causes great pain to the Acharya, because Prabhupada said ISKCON is my body. So if you are causing pain to the body of Prabhupada, naturally Prabhupada feels pain. So Prabhupada said, if you want to show your love for me, cooperate with one another to keep the movement going on and on, he said. So it is true that not all the devotees recruited into this organization are pure devotees. If everybody ready-made pure devotees are coming in, then what work you have? There is no homework to do. Everybody is just pure devotee already. This movement is not ready-made. Pure devotee is not coming into movement. We are recruiting from the mass of people. And then we are taking people into the movement. So naturally, they are going to come with Tamaguna, Rajaguna, Sattaguna combination. So when they come here, some of them will exhibit some lower qualities, higher quality. We have to be very tolerant. That's why the secondary qualities of a pure devotee are very important, which is Titikshava, Karunika, Surda, Sarvadekina. Prabhupada said, devotees have to be sympathetically trained and developed because the devotees' glory is that they have chosen Krishna. That is their glory. No matter how many faults they may have, they have chosen to come to Krishna's lotus feet. Poor Jiva, after wandering in 8.4 billion species, is stumbling in a Krishna's temple and coming and falling at Krishna's feet, you kick him away. And you don't care for them and you don't compassionately, help them get purified and uplifted. Then that is a great disservice done. So, therefore, one should oversee the shortcomings of devotees and be able to appreciate that one good quality called Krishnaika Sharanam. They have taken shelter of Krishna. That is the main quality. If that one quality is there, other 25 qualities can follow like a shadow. But the prime quality is the Krishnaika Sharanam. They have taken shelter of Krishna. That's why Krishna says also, Abhidet Sudracharo Bhajate Vamananya Bhak Sadhureva Samantapya Samyak Pavasito Hisaha Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashvat Chantim Nigacchati Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So Prabhupada took some American devotees to India. Those devotees went to one house and after finishing prasad, they just took a tissue paper and they wiped the hands. And some Indian devotees were laughing. And Prabhupada said, see, you think some Indian Brahmins were laughing. Prabhupada said, you may be a Brahmana, you are very clean in washing your hand with water and washing your feet with water and everything. But these fellows are given their lives. They have, you cannot give your life, you have your own things to do. But look at these people, they have given their lives for practicing and propagating Krishna consciousness. They may not be able to pronounce Sanskrit properly sometimes. The pronunciation may not be great, but the renunciation is great. You can see, can you do that? Prabhupada asked them. They were speechless. So Prabhupada saw, even though there were some apparent deficiencies, they are not very important because as soon as a person is under the shower, even if he had already fallen in a muddy water or something, right now he is under the shower, is rightly situated, so one should appreciate the devotees. So by learning to see good in others, by overlooking the deficiencies that may be there in a devotee, the devotee sangha will become a powerful sangha of devotees. One time, there was one church in the frontiers of one village. At one time, there were 70 members of the church, monks staying in the church. So, one day the rabbi went to, rabbi is like a GBC, Rabbi visits church to different churches. So when he came to the church, there was an abbot, like a president of the church. So this was actually in the village. There was a lot of greenery around. In the park bench, they both sat. The rabbi sat and the abbot sat in a loyal position. And then rabbi asked, how is everything? So the abbot said, I am very sorry to tell you, at one time this was a flourishing church. There were 70 people were there. Now, we only have 4 people now. It has gradually diminished. People are not coming. He asked, why? What happened? I don't know. The monks have left one by one. And even the people who are visiting, they also stopped coming. They are coming. We don't know why. Our church is a beautiful big church. We have a beautiful garden. It's a nice place to come. But people are not coming. I don't know what to do. So then the rabbi who stayed for a few days there, he understood one thing. So he said, when he gave one class, he said, amongst 5 of you, so the president, the abbot plus the 4 people, amongst 5 of you, one is a Messiah, one is very special soul, who is a very close associate of God. Don't worry, because of that one person, this 5 will become 50. Very soon, don't worry. He said and he went away. After he said that and went away, among the 5, everybody was curious. What was the curious about? Who is that person? But that he didn't tell. Who is that? So morning, David was brushing his teeth. He looked at John and he thought, hey, maybe he is the Messiah. So he thought, better be careful. Because if you are going to offend him, then you will earn the wrath of God. So So in this way, everybody, when they were looking at each other, they thought maybe he's the Messiah, he's the Messiah. So in that particular church, fault finding completely came to a halt. No more fault finding. Not only that, people started praising the others, thinking that maybe if he's Messiah, if I praise him, then he will take me back home, back to Godhead. They started praising one another like that. So very soon, the culture of that church became one of seeing good in others and they overcame the fault-finding tendency, due to which they were, even in the absence of one another, they were praising each other. Because of this, the people who came for the church, people come on Sunday, correct? No? People who came on Sunday, they saw, hey, I am seeing some radical change in this place. A revolutionary difference has come. The people who used to talk ill of one another, now they're talking great about one another. This is something unique, which we don't find in the outside world. Come. And then people started telling one another, the whole village heard, and the crowd started increasing. And many of them wanted to become monks. And when the rebel came 2 years later, he saw there were 50 monks. He said, just say I told you 5 will become 50, it has become 50 in just 2 years. So, as you heard in this story, you find the Preeti Lakshanam culture is so magnetic. Wherever there is Preeti Lakshanam, that place becomes like a tree laden with tasty fruits. Why will the birds not come? Many colorful, exotic, sweet-singing birds will come and occupy the tree. Do you think birds will leave and go? Yeah, they will leave and go to bring more birds. And they will, 2 birds will become dozen birds. Dozen birds will become 50 birds, 100 birds like that, you will find it. So, our ISKCON temples are not made of bricks and stones. Our temples are made of devotees. And the temple attracts people based on the quality of devotees. Individually, every devotee should generate the Bhakti Shakti by the very strong morning program, 4:30 to 9:30. This program, morning program, and 2 things one should always take care. The first offense talks about pride. Therefore, we offend other devotees. The 10th offense talks about material attachment. One should give up pride and material attachment. How do you do that? To give up pride, we should do humble service attitude. And to give up material attachment, we have to chant attentively in the early morning program. In Brahma Muhurta time, those who chant very attentively, they can powder their material desires completely. Because the material desires are like kama karma bejas. When you completely nullify them, then one can avoid the 10th offense. Material attachment will not develop. And the first offense can be avoided by humble service, seva bhava, humble service attitude. Then one cannot become proud. So by doing these things and doing this act of prashrayam, taking shelter of Prabhupada, Guru and senior Vaishnavas, then one becomes a very advanced devotee. Advanced devotee, the symptom is what? Not that he is a very big scholar. There are many scholars who are not proper devotees. And they should not become sahajiyas also. Sahajiya means one who pretends to be advanced. Wearing sari and I am saying I am gopi, I am this, I am that. We don't want to become sahajiyas, we don't want to become empty jnanis without devotion. The advanced devotee is one who is enthusiastic in Krishna consciousness. And for such a person, there is nothing other than Krishna. So, prashrayam, taking shelter of superiors, and with Maitri, when I went to Chowal temple way back in 91, I used to return from my IIT days. In the night, 9:30 I would come there. And all the lights will be switched off by 9 o'clock. So, Devamrit Prabhu, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Govind Prabhu, Shyamanand Prabhu, they would go to different preaching programs and come back. So, when I would return back, often I would see in the brahmacharya room, shoulder to shoulder, they were talking. How was your program? How many people came? And who increased their rounds? How many people are serious in their program? They would be like sharing with one another. So this is what causes the thrill for the devotees living in the temple. How many books you distributed? How was the distribution today? Did you meet any great soul, good soul? And they share. They would share that, one boy came, he was already like a pure devotee. He's very interested, he's going to come this weekend to the temple. So they were sharing about their programs, about their experience, so in this way, I saw, these people, they have so much respect for each other. They have so much affection for each other. They have mutual respect, love, and trust in each other. They are living like the blood brothers. But even in blood brothers, there is quarrel sometimes in this world. Whereas here we find they are all devotees together. So the ashram was very attractive. But if you go to the ashram and see, it's like a thatched cottage kind of thing. It's all separated with plywoods. And they used to have cots. And inside the cot, they have a locker. If you open the cot, it's locker. So sometimes somebody will be sleeping in the day, relaxing. Somebody will come, Prabhuji, can you get up? But they had to open my locker. That's what they do open. Very simple facility. But me, Gaurav Prabhu, Paramahansa Prabhu and all, we made up our mind to join there. So nobody will be attracted to material facility. People are attracted to devotion. People are attracted to the sacrifice of devotees. And people are attracted to the good behavior of devotees. So that place, many of us, all of us coming from IIT boys, many of them come from well-to-do families. They are flying in planes. But to join an ashram like that, how will one want to join an ashram with meager facility? Because material facility cannot touch the soul. It cannot satisfy the soul. Only the Priti Lakshanam of the devotees and Bhakti Shakti of the devotees that can touch. So we saw His Holiness Ranat Maharaj would sit near Prabhupada in the side, in the same place. We saw him years together sitting in the same place. Even when he is not in the temple, you look at the place, you feel his presence. At the same place, he would sit and chant every day. And Maharaj told all the brahmacharis, gradually brahmacharis increased. Between 91 to 94, by the time I joined ashram, there were already, more than 20 devotees, 15, 20 devotees by the time. Initially, there were 4, 5 devotees. So, Maharaj told the devotees that all of us should sit like a horseshoe. Horseshoe? Like this we should sit. We should not show back to Prabhupada. We should sit like this, like this, like this. So he actually marked on the paper and showed it. Around Prabhupada, like this, like this, like this, you should sit. And then we formed the circles. Because boys also started coming in the morning time. So they would also join. So we would sit like that. And Maharaj, while chanting, he saw some devotees are going out and not coming for half an hour, 45 minutes. Maharaj asked, going to, why devotees are going out? He said, Maharaj, they are going for drinking water. Next day onwards, Maharaj told them to keep one stainless steel jar and a glass also. Maharaj said, they can drink water and be here only. And Maharaj said, nobody should go out at the temple hall. Everybody should be in temple hall. Drink water if you want. And sit with devotees. And if you sit and complete all 16 rounds with devotees, you will get a lot of spiritual shakti by that. But if you wander away, go to the room, you'll go to sleep. So, Maharaj was very particular about the chanting. He would supervise also how devotees are chanting. And then the class, Maharaj would give the class, and then he insisted that we should have brahmachari class daily. So every day we used to have 1.5 hours class. I heard Upadeshamrita from Radha Gopinath Prabhu. Shaman who taught nectar of devotion. Very great devotees taught all these things. Our real juice, our real strength in spiritual life came from study of Shastra, from the association of powerful devotees in the ashram. They are themselves very strict practitioners in the morning program, and also teaching the Shastra in a very enlivening manner. You would never want the class to end. From that class, sometimes it would become 2.5 hours sometimes. It would speak more. You can go on hearing like that. And then I had to go to Pune, 1995. I adopted the same culture in Pune also. Maharaj had a fixed place. I also made a fixed place for him. Same place I would sit every day. People know if this fellow is not here, he is not in the station, he is gone out. So, in this way, Maharaj was telling, when we asked him, Maharaj, how can we develop Priti Lakshanam? He said, very simple. Devotees should take part in Mangalarti together. They should take part in chanting japa together. They should sit down and hear Bhagavatam together. And he said they should sing and dance together in Kirtan. And take prasadam together. And then we asked, what else? Nothing else. If you just do this, loving relationship will automatically develop. And then the 2 other things I told you, always see good in others. Never unnecessarily pick faults. Never criticize one another. Because this will alienate the devotees. This will frighten the devotees and create cleavage in devotees. So, in this way, developing friendship with equal friends is called Maitri. And the third one is said, which is Daya, Maitri Prashrayam. So Daya means, here he says in this, if you observed it here, he said that, Puryate, the word is used now. He said if we don't go out and distribute the message, then one will not feel the bliss of Krishna consciousness. He has mentioned that. See here, it's a practical experience, the Krishna conscious movement, that those who are expanding their mercy by preaching the message of Krishna are making rapid spiritual progress and their life is filled with transcendental bliss. Those who neglect the quality of mercy, being uninterested in the missionary activities of the Krishna consciousness movement, are not filled with transcendental pleasure, as described here by the word Puryate. Not being filled with spiritual pleasure, surely such persons attempt to fill their lives with material pleasure through sense gratification and mental speculation of sitting with women. If devotees are not going out distributing Prabhupada books, preaching Krishna consciousness, doing Harinam Sankirtan, you will see that in the free time they will want to connect with opposite sex. That's the easiest thing. Or they will start reading books other than Prabhupada's books, opening the internet. Now you have a whole ocean of information nowadays available, reading mundane novels and newspapers. There are, I know even brahmacharis who are watching what's happening in Hamas and Palestine, what is happening in Ukraine and Russia, and there are people also finding out, is Bangladesh all right? Peaceful, is Pakistan all right? You go here, go there, or you want to, you had some favorite cinema actors or actress before coming to Krishna consciousness, you may again go back to them again. There are devotees suffering from watching Bollywood, Hollywood, even after becoming devotees, because they are not experiencing bliss. In one newspaper they had put one photo of two monks, Buddhist monks, sitting in a tree branch and watching cricket. From the top of a tree, from there they were watching cricket. And some intelligent staff reporter went behind and clicked the photo and said, IPL cricket is so attractive, even monks want to watch it. And I told one boy, write one message on my behalf. I said, yes, Buddhist monks may want to watch it, but I am a Hare Krishna monk, I don't watch cricket. I told them to write it. That's in the comment I told them to write. Because we are not fools to be watching cricket, we have enough activities to do. In fact, I don't have time to do. You give me 10,000 lifetimes, I have so much to do in Krishna consciousness. There's so much good work to do. So, only when you are idle man's mind is a devil's workshop. An idle mind is going to look for opposite sex. It's going to look for novels. It's going to look for material stuff. Material stuff is another name for suffering. Material enjoyment is a synonym of suffering. So, unfortunately, we chase after the mirage of illusion and get slaps and kicks from Maya. So, intelligent person should keep oneself, body, mind, words. We should burn it in Krishna's service. Till the last breath, if we live a life keeping ourselves busy, then Prabhupada will be pleased, Acharyas will bless us, and we will remain fixed up devotees and we'll go back to Godhead. Therefore, Dayam towards suffering soul, this is the Vaishnava philosophy. Vaishnava path says that don't go to Himalayas for your own moksha. Prahlad says, go out in the streets. Here I am seeing in Boston, we have a WhatsApp group of book distributors. Day in and day out, so many of the devotees are doing beautiful distribution. And it has increased. Ever since the WhatsApp group is made, people started posting. Rangamani will say that now they are putting a table there, everybody can come. Immediately 3-4 devotees will join and go there. The Varun Prabhu, the Sudarshan Prabhu, Raghav Prabhu, Varamali Pandit. Yesterday Varamali Prabhu distributed some books. I wanted to know Varamali Pandit Prabhu and Sudarshan 121 books, where you distributed amazingly.
Not distributed.
Huh?
Not only.
In ice cold winter, where you went?
No. One devotee came and he told, I want this many books you give.
Oh, wonderful.
We always look for opportunity for bulk.
Correct, that's bulk distribution. Somebody wants to invite you for marriage, tell them take books. Somebody's died in our home, take books. Correct. Somebody's my birthday, happy birthday, okay, happy books there. Take this. So we can always give in any occasion. So in this way, book distribution is happening. Now the next thing is, those who buy the book should be shown this temple. Radha Gopi Vallabha. This temple has produced powerful devotees. There is one devotee called Leelanand Prabhu who became devotee here. And he was very attached to Gopi Vallabha deity. He was keeping the picture Gopi Vallabha in his house. Most amazing thing is, I have been to his first program where 12 people had come when he was giving. Now his community has 400 devotees now. And from the 400, he has generated 30 preachers, and they are going to 30 gated communities in Hyderabad. So each program, each of the 30 persons have got 40 to 50 people with them. He has grown as a very big preacher now. So he gave me the new Radhakrishna deity, with black deity, and the deity picture to me. I sent it to my Guru Maharaj asking for a name. Most amazing thing, Maharaj gave the name Radha Gopi Vallabha. And he can't believe. So his home deity name is also Radha Gopi Vallabha. And he was in tears. He said, Prabhuji, I was thinking, till now I was attached to Gopi Vallabha in Boston. But what name Maharaj is going to give? Maharaj gave the same name. Amazing. Maharaj doesn't even know that he is from Boston. Still Maharaj gave Gopi Vallabha to his deity. So, in this way, many people, hundreds of people have come here, taken Krishna consciousness and gone to different parts of America. But now we want to have devotees in this temple, in this community. Sunday morning, you should be facing a difficulty for fitting the devotees in temple. It should be like that. Mangalarti, you should give anxiety to Vanwala Patel Prabhu. That many devotees have to bring. Prabhuji should have said, you guys are bringing so many, I don't know where will I accommodate them. My Guru Maharaj said, when you overflood the temple, then Krishna will give you a bigger rice. In Pune also, when we overflooded the small temple, then big temple came out after that. So you all are doing very good preaching. There are more than 25-30 programs going on by the temple. Only thing is, many of the programs are attracting small number of people. We have to multiply the number in the coming months and coming years, so that we make fixed up devotees in 5 miles radius from this temple. Because those people are meant for only Gopi Vallabha. And they will keep coming here. And then from those people generate leaders, and some of them can be sent to faraway places away from this temple. So in Pune, what we are doing, we are making a circle around the temple. Within that circle of devotees, congregation, brahmacharis, boys are meant only for the deity. They are meant for this temple only. And then some of them staying in the periphery will get training here, and then they will preach and make more projects. So that by planning like that, then you will have adequate number of devotees. And more the devotees, merrier it is. Imagine if you on morning program you have 2 or 3 devotees, they will get very discouraged. If you have 200, 300 devotees, it's a welcomeable problem. Then sometimes you have to put a that TV in another room for them to see the darshan. Make like that. So these 3 things are very important. Dayam, Maitri, Prashrayam. Prabhupada. So it's 9:30 now, very late. 5 minutes we will take some comment from Prabhu. Mukta, give the mic to him. Oh, you have a lot of realization. Yeah. Or you can tell us about your trip and you have come back. Give one.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was wonderful, Kasan. I would like to thank Raghav Prabhu for agreeing to have Radheshyam Prabhu's class here. We wanted to hear that. Prabhu, I think very wonderful points you said. One of the things is that how to crush your pride. One should engage in the humble services, and how to. All of us we are suffering with this material attachments. There are different levels of material attachments, right? Everyone has. So how to actually overcome that? Very powerful statement which you made. Chant attentively early during the Brahma Muhurta time. So in the morning. I think that's why I think most of us, we face challenges. People always ask questions, Prabhu, I have this, I have that desire, this actually troubles me. But the solution to that is in the fundamentals itself, under the chanting.
Maharaj is very strict about it.
Yeah, in the morning program itself, I think that's where we.
Maharaj is known for compassion. He's very compassionate. In this, he's not compassionate. He said it is for our ultimate good. Sleep early, rise early.
Yeah, no matter what, I think, and sometimes people would like to go here and there, like so as you rightly mentioned, like they Maharaj used to make sit in the temple and then chant. So that's the one thing I think we all see. It's a question of like developing habit and also encouraging others. Sometimes they think that like, oh, it is my own thing, but no, it is you also encourage others. When you sit at one place, so people also they feel like oh, everybody's sitting or these devotees are sitting, so we should also sit together. So it's not just one; it's only for yourself, but it is for others also.
Exactly. Actually, in some temples, as soon as the Tulsiati and everything is over, immediately temple hall is empty. Everybody goes to that room and chants. It's like 4 cows going in 4 directions. Then the lion can attack very easily. But if all 4 cows are together and lion comes, they show the horn like this. And lion will run away. Correct, no? Maya can be driven away by Sange Shakti Kali Yuga. Correct, no? Prabhupada said the story of the bundle of sticks. Correct, no? If you put the bundle of sticks together and tie it with the rope, it gets strength. Correct, no? But if you separate the sticks, one stick, it's very easy to break. So, and also when devotees see, oh, this devotee is standing in temple, let us say, they will also come. Everybody will come. Good, very good point. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, and also Prabhu, like few of the points you said, like one wonderful point that bhakti is not like it doesn't depend on any conditions. Like sometimes some people, for instance, like we have we we get afflicted by some problem, and we face some problems, and then what happens? Our bhakti goes down, and then something else comes up. Then again, our bhakti diminishes further. So I think as you made a very powerful, true bhakti never stops.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I think we need to understand that like all these, as you mentioned, that like these material issues they will keep on going, but my devotion that has to continue.
And Prabhupada uses the word quite normal. In the material world, material upheavals are quite normal. Don't be surprised. Because you have put yourself in a dangerous position. Danger must be there, Prabhupada says. So one should never be surprised. How it happened? Then it has to happen. Because what world it is? Material world. It's not spiritual world. Spiritual world we are already safe. Padam padam yarpi padam nam sesham. That there is no danger there. Here there is danger there. So the situations will always be chaotic. But the eternal principles, like Krishna's lotus feet is eternal, we are eternal, Sambandha is eternal, those things should be not compromised, whatever it is. So Shiva's Pandit, his child had passed away. But he didn't stop the Sankirtan when Mahaprabhu was doing. He said Mahaprabhu's ecstasy should not be affected. That's an extreme example. Correct, huh? Yeah.
Oh, one another point which you made was very powerful was sex pleasure.
Yeah.
How to get rid of that? You said that because this body, I think this body it cannot give any pleasure. So Narada can give us pleasure, but Kleshada gives us misery. And this body is made up of stool, mucus, all this like filthy stuffs, whatever it is. If you see if you touch our body, it's nothing but just a flesh and bones, but still we get so much attracted to that, so much. So that's the one beautiful point which you made. Thank you, Prabhu. I think there was
you made notes, huh?
yeah, and one last point which you made very beautiful, Prabhu, how to develop the Priti Lakshana amongst us.
Yeah.
And this is one thing which we lack, all of us, even though. So as you mentioned that, so again, it's the answer lies in the fundamentals. Attend the morning program together, Mangalarati together, chant together. You said serve together. You should hear Srimad Bhagavatam together, and dance together. So this is where actually. It lands. Yes, that's the most important part. Sometimes some people take prasadam at different time, another people at another time, and it's there is no. So it's like only one person is taking prasadam. So it's so prasadam is also association time.
Yeah.
And where we talk to each other. It's
not. Your number of devotees are less, so it's like family. So the family comes together, then family will increase also. Yeah, brilliant. You captured the whole essence of the whole. You captured the essence of the whole lecture.
And another last point which you made just before you concluding that why how to feel how to get encouraged, how to get the transcendental pleasure. So for that one should engage in expanding, in preaching, in preaching. So that's the most important. Yeah, as more you engage in preaching, the more you feel transcendental pleasure.
Yeah.
And the more people generally want to curtail their preaching opportunities. They no, bro, I don't have time. I don't. Actually, the more we engage, the more we get pleasure.
Yeah.
The more we
So
talk.
Prabhupada says three things in Sankirtan. One is book distribution, one is prasadam distribution, and holy name distribution. These three things he says. So if these three things are happening in any temple, the temple will perish. Of course, Bhagavatam goes, heart is a big heart. Distributes a lot of prasad, and books are also going many nowadays. I see that. And Harinam Sankirtan should happen regularly also. Of course, it's winter season, chill winter now. But these three are very important. Based on these three, then the programs will multiply. Because people see you on the road, Harinam Sankirtan, people come buy books, they start coming to temple, they invite you to their home. Then the programs get started after that. He was telling me, Sudarshan Prabhu, even the local colleges are inviting him for giving lecture. Which college you say? Boston College. One more.
You must loyal and you must
Ah.
one more.
See, he spoke once, he spoke. Now they are calling him, please come, please come. You can take Prabhu, Mukta Prabhu should take him. Mukta Prabhu is a very highly qualified personality, and they will be very happy. He's a local elite also, local man. If you can arrange some program for him, the colleges, local colleges, he can give lecture and you can follow up. You take the voice and then you can cultivate them. You invite him, Prabhu will come, right Prabhu? If you are invited to college, you will be willing to go and give a talk. Is it really? Yeah. Because in your temple, the full-time devotee is the local American devotee here. Very valuable. I never knew that the local colleges will allow also. I didn't know that. Yesterday I heard about amazing. So he took me to Harvard. In Harvard, Einstein and the other one, Ryan. In that room, they both were staying together. Now, some more people came also. So he is saying that many of the American university colleges are opening for programs. Only he was saying that opportunities are many, but we have limited manpower. But in American universities, I feel the American audience probably can speak also. It's very nice. There's a lot of scope, but the number of devotees here, you start small, but stay consistent. Because when you stay consistent, the results will start manifesting. When new devotees come, they have to be trained, and then trained devotees can again train more. That's how it multiplies. It has a multiplication effect.
We get regular visits we are we are getting people from Boston College.
Okay.
And we got 2 invitations from Emmanuel College also.
Amazing.
There and as well as coming here. So both.
Wonderful.
What has happened? This temple has a long relationship with many universities. Since back then when Niranjan Swami was there, so they had established all this relationship, and some of them has been revived over the period of time. So I think that's what it is. So we have local colleges. ISKCON Boston is well known. So
The very old temple, so people have connection. We should take advantage of that.
and these are all the teachers are Western.
Yes.
The professors are Western, the students are Western, so this is completely Western outreach.
So, three things: Bhakti Shakti, Preti Lakshana, Dakshana. Bhakti Shakti is devotionally, devotee should be firmly rooted. They should not hanker for anything else. And Preti Lakshana is relationship between the devotees. And Dakshana is the expertise, skill, expertise by which one can reach Krishna consciousness to the conditioned soul. Because conditioned soul always try to escape. They find out how ways and means to tactfully reach to the mass of people, Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much. Congratulations, Bhagavatam ki Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai.
They can come at 11 or 10:45. Sorry, I have a 10 to 10 today. Where to go there, I think. I said how they will be very disappointed to have family, no?
So 2:30 you have another class here in the temple.
I'll come back.
So 11 to 2.
11 to 2 we'll do it.
Hare Krishna, so we'll be having session at Shivasankur's house from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. 11 is sharp. This can be till 11.
Radheshyam